Hey, okay, right. Hey, how are you doing? It's Imran, Web Squadron. Welcome back. It's Monday, start of a new week. Hey Gary, how are you doing? Great to have you here. Can I tell you all a secret? I Today is the only live chat we're doing all week because of the Atrium Web Summit event. Hey Gary, and I was gonna try and do something a little bit different. I was going to enable a Zoom meeting. So what I was going to do is I was going to try and mix things up a little bit on the live chat. So I was going to put out a link, and if anyone here wanted to join the live chat, hey Pickstar, hey Sergio, I was going to put a Zoom link and you can appear and you'll be on camera as well, and we can chat and stuff like that. So it's a bit more interactive. The only trouble I got though is that Zoom is not allowing me to live stream even after I have a premium account. Hey Harish, how are you? After a long time, didn't we talk on Friday, Harish? It's not that long, is it? It's not that long. Surely it's not that long, right? But yeah, so unfortunately, I'm a bit disappointed because trying to set up like a live stream via Zoom has proved to be a little bit difficult. I don't know what's going on. If anyone here has ever got experience of streaming from Zoom to YouTube, please get in touch because I cannot work it out. Spent nearly an hour on it and I just thought, forget it, let's just go live. Because it's taking up my time. When you start working on technical issues, your time gets seriously sucked up, right? Cheers, Harish. You're absolutely right. You don't need to see me every day. You're all gonna get a break. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You're gonna get like a 6-day break. Hey, Imran. I just jumped on a little early today. You are gonna get a break from me. Obviously, got the Atrium Web Summit. I'm really, really happy because I made a start on Saturday on the big video that we're going to be doing, which is going to be going through WordPress, page speed, web accessibility, global colors, fonts, wireframe, brainstorming, color palettes, branding, logo, stock imagery, WebP, bulk resizephotos.com, Elementor, Elementor Pro, building out your website, probably a 5-6 page website. Then we're going to add in some blog and all of that stuff. Then we're going to add in WooCommerce, products, all of that. Then we're going to add in an LMS bit as well. And so it's going to be a very hefty tutorial. The reason I'm doing it is because I want to show you that there is so much you can do and you can still have a really good actually I don't do font matching, but in the one I recorded on Saturday, which is the first chunk, I looked at Font Squirrel and I talk about your TTF, your WAF2, the size difference. Your TTF could be 180 kilobytes, your WAF2 could be 25 kilobytes. That's the difference. Okay, your TTF for railway per font variation, like 100, 200, 300 weight, they're about 180 kilobytes TTF. When you convert it into WAF2, it's 25 kilobytes. That's a big difference. I'm okay, by the way, Imran. My health's doing all right. Don't forget to hit like. So all of that, your web accessibility, how, if you are building a website, how you can do things in stages as well, but also ultimately, how does your page speed performance look, right? Okay, so this video, rather than it just being, right, let's just now start building, it does go through certain things you must do and think about before you build your website. And again, the first bit is only about 30 minutes long because it's the whole bit about get this, do that. But at the 30-minute mark, I'm then showing you that if I now deactivate all of my snippets and fast press, and now I check the score, it's 81% on a blank page with just one header. You got one heading text, that's it. The minute you enable, your score jumps up to 100. Now we are good to go. We've got our images in, we've got all of this in, right? And again, just to put into context, all of the images and product images and the logo, in total, I think there's 35 or 36 images in total. The original size for all of that was 67 megabytes because a lot of it was taken from Canva. When you bulk resize photos.com it, all 36 rough images, right, and they're 1920 by 1080, most of the stock images, 5.5 megabytes. Get that into your head, all right? 65 megabytes to 5.5. That is my stock. That's my stock. That's my media library. Dum, boom. That's even with, in fact, that's even with the fonts, 5.5 megabytes. That's all in there in the media library. Now, your WordPress database is going to get a little bit heavier, obviously, because you're adding in Elementor, Elementor Pro. WooCommerce is heavy. You know, I really hate how big WooCommerce is, but WooCommerce, and then you'll add in a few other stuff. But from the get-go, the only plugins I have at this point are Elementor, Elementor Pro, FastPress, WP Meteor, and Code Snippets. Now, if you want to go and add in a security one, of course you would do. And eventually we're going to do, oh yeah, by the way, the video will also cover rank math as well. So it's going to be huge. Hey, Daniel, it's going to be a pretty big, extensive video because it also then does rank math and the settings for that and your Google Search Console and your analytics and your keywords. And how do you look at your keywords for your products and for your blog pages and your homepage and all of that? We're going to be doing all of that. We are proper battering this tutorial. Now, this tutorial, I think, is going to end up being really, really long. But the plan is, hopefully in 2 weeks' time, so hopefully 14 days from now, have I got that right? Yeah, 14 days from now, the big one comes out. The big video comes out, right? And then after that, every day for about 6 days, there will be chunks. So you'll have the big one, which you can watch, or you might only care about the basic WordPress performance settings. What do you need to know and think about before you now start actually building it? Get these all in place. Then we'll have another video just for the Elementor bit. Then we'll have a video for the blog bit, then the shop bit, then the LMS bit, then the rank math bit. Throughout all of the videos, page speed performance, optimization, mobile responsiveness, looking at font clamp, stuff like that. I won't build everything in font clamp, but I will show it to you. But then I'll let you make that decision if you want to use it or not. And also web accessibility. All right. So I addressed that right from the get-go. So in the video I just did on Saturday recording, I start talking about your color palette. And I go, right, so here's our palette. Now let's test the contrast checker. And that's when you realize the color needs to be darkened a little bit. And that's where I'm telling you, look, you now have to make that decision, you and the client. Do you care about web accessibility? You should. You can still use your palette. All I'm saying is for your buttons, you're going to have to use a slightly darker color. That's it. That's the payoff, right? That's the payoff. To be honest, Sergio, when you got 40,000 images, mate, you're up against it, right? Daniel, I came across an issue yesterday, how to add some more space between an underline and a header in Elementor. Seems like it should be. Yeah, this is the thing though, yeah, Daniel. This is the really annoying bit. Sometimes what you got to do is get rid of the underline, set the header to be a custom width, and then do a underline, a bottom border sometimes, or you could use CSS. Right, so Sol Esperanza, I released a video today on Grid Builder WP. That video is exactly for what you're asking, which is how do you filter Elementor loops, post, product, loop grid, all of that. That video came out about 11 hours ago. So if you go to our YouTube channel, go to videos, you'll see it's the very first video, loop grid, grid builder, filtering for posts and products. And I go through the posts and then I go through the products. So you can take your pick what you want. Well, the thing is though, Sergio, there will be a big video with loads of links, right, for the different categories. But I am also thinking that it's going to be good to also do separate ones as well. So it's basically the big video and then it's chucked out into little chunks. Because some people, if for instance they go, oh, I want to do rank math, and then there's a video that is like, it could be 6 hours long, 5 hours long. I don't know yet. It could be a really, really big one. Thanks, Shavine. Yeah, I started early, just did. This is the way I roll sometimes. So I feel like the smaller ones are there, but you don't have to watch that. You got the bigger one as well. And it's not to create extra videos. I want to point that out. It's not to just say, oh yeah, I've created extra videos. No, it's because sometimes some people like the big hefty video. Some people go, ooh, they get scared of it. They go, oh wow, that's how long? I only wanted to do WooCommerce, you know, and they were expecting like half an hour or 1 hour. They don't really want to see like a 6 hour video kind of thing. So there will be the 6 hour one. There will be the 6 hour. No, don't worry, Sergio. It's a good point. There will be the 6 hour roughly. Could be longer. And then we'll have the smaller chunks as well. Harish, are you using LoopGrid to create product archive? Yes, it will be. Harish, the entire video. Now, here's the thing though, WP Hacks. I'm going to show you how we're going to keep it really lean, okay, what we do. We're going to keep it really lean in how we build and what we do. We will be using Grid Builder. I will point that out on the video. I will also point out that there are other plugins you could use if you want the free version. But for this tutorial, we will be using Grid Builder. But yeah, we are going to be using the loop grid in the video and containers. There is no sections or columns in this video. We are going pure containers. And that's the other thing as well. When I'm building, I am going to assume that you, the viewer, know nothing about Elementor or Flexbox containers or WooCommerce or anything. So when we come and do the WooCommerce bit, hey Rajat, when we come and do the WooCommerce bit, I'm going to literally say, right, you now got to sort out your shipping. Now you got to sort out your taxes. Now you got to sort out your payment gateway. Hey Mia, how are you? And then I'm going to talk to you about how do you enable your payment gateway? How do you enable your PayPal or your Stripe? We are going to be covering off so much stuff because I'm guilty of this in that we often assume or we skip bits. So I haven't done a WooCommerce video in ages. But even when I did it, it's like, yeah, you go here, you go there, now go and do this. No. Now do your payment gateway. Sometimes you just need to have a video that literally goes through all of the minutiae of what you want. And if you don't want to watch it, you skip it. You skip that bit. So it becomes a lot more clearer. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Daniel, I mean, using the bottom border is a bit like, yeah, you know, but it is another way to do it if you don't want to do the CSS. So custom width, so it locks it down to the width of the header. Then you do your bottom border, whatever, and then you can do negative, minus, margin, whatever, if you want to get the border to be, you know, or positive even to make it bigger or smaller. I mean, that is a good point as well, Sergio. You do make a good point, actually. I've just read what you've written about release it maybe a few days after. And I think that's a really good point. I'm going to take you up on that. I will probably give it 1 week. I'll give it 1 week and then I'll release the smaller chunks afterwards. I think that's a good idea. Well done, Sergio. Maniza, I've made a Woo website using Elementor, ShopLentor with Astra. All of a sudden, my checkout page is giving 404. Okay, Maniza, have you checked if it is the ShopLentor plugin? Because you're asking me to guide you. The solution is really, really simple. You're telling me you've built it with Elementor Astra and Shoplentor, right? If you deactivate Shoplentor, do you still get the problem? If you switch from Astra to Hello, do you still get the same problem? Is there anything else as well? Because obviously, for you to go to the 404 page, it means that your URL ain't right. So now go to WordPress, go to WooCommerce, Settings, go to the Advanced tab in your WooCommerce settings. You'll have a list that says cart, checkout, account page, terms and conditions. Is the URL correct? So that's what you need to go and do. You need to go and check that. First, check your WooCommerce settings, right? WordPress, WooCommerce settings, Advanced tab. Have a look there, double check that. Then go and deactivate some of these extra stuff that you've got in, like Shoplentor. It sounds to me like you're not using Elementor Pro. If you're using Shoplentor, you're not using Elementor Pro. So then again, what if you deactivate Shoplentor? Try that out. So you've tried all of those, yeah? So so Muniza, just staying on you, your WooCommerce setting URL is correct, right? What is the URL? Don't paste the URL, okay? So don't paste the URL, but can you do something like this? Can you tell me what is the final, is your URL like that? Is it like that? /checkout. Is that how it looks? Is that definitely, is your full domain and the URL in the WooCommerce Advanced tab settings? Because I have to be brutally honest here. Too many people kind of just say, yeah, help me out. You need to be clearer. So now that you're saying that you've done all those, you should be putting that in your questions, saying you've checked all that. But just confirm, is that definitely what you've got in your WooCommerce settings? It's like someone saying, I can't open the door. Help me. I mean, you kind of go, have you tried the door? And they go, yeah. No. Or they go, no, I haven't tried the door. And you go, well, that's why you can't open the door. Daniel, dumb question. How can I force my containers in 2 columns to break into 1 column at a break? Ooh, force my containers set in 2 columns to break. Okay, so you got to think about your layout now, right? So are you going to have them stacking underneath one another? Is it that maybe you repeat the item in the other column and you hide it for a different breakpoint? It all depends, Dan, on the layout. Jamie, why didn't you post a video about filters a month ago? Yeah, do you know what, Jamie? I nearly did. And then other things got in the way. Because obviously we did the super course, how to start a web design business. If you haven't looked at it, you really should look at it. Because, I mean, I am biased. Of course, I'm going to say it's brilliant and really good. But it is. And people are liking it. And people are using it right now. But that's the reason. Faisal, hiya. Is WordPress the future? Well, no, Faisal, it's not. In a million years from now, WordPress probably won't be the future. So to answer your question, no. Is it the short-term future? Is it still going to be here for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years? Yeah, I think so. But then again, did any of us predict ChatGPT 2 years ago? Did any of us think Midjourney AI 2 years ago? Did any of us think of wars across the world 2 years ago? I mean, there are, but, it's getting worse and worse. So I would say WordPress is the short-term future. Is that enough for me? Yes, it is. Am I going to shift on to anything else? No, not yet. Thank you, Dave. Thanks for appreciating the approach. And at the end of the day, okay, Faisal. Oh, by the way, hey, John, how are you doing? Faisal, what you got to remember, all right, just because you've got AI, can AI produce quality class websites yet? No. Do they produce just basic stuff? Yes. Is AI going to be able to absolutely give the client exactly what they want? No. You're going to need human interaction. Is WordPress threatened? No. AI will be your friend when you're building a website. AI is your friend. ChatGPT is my friend. Midjourney AI is my friend. TinyWow is my friend. Bertha AI is my friend. All of these extra bits and pieces are your friend. These are your tools, right? Your phone is your friend. Doesn't stop you working though. Do you know what I mean? You still do things the way you do. The MacBook Air, it's just another machine, you know? So, hey, Maddie, how are you doing? By the way, Maddie, you sent your email yesterday. I've been so swamped out with stuff. I still have not read it properly, okay? I skimmed it, but I need to go through it. I've got 6 important emails since this morning. I still have not properly read. My time is like a minute. Sometimes I do sometimes feel like, oh, damn, I'm doing a live chat. Right, I've got to juggle that. But I will get onto it, okay? I will get onto it shortly. Hey, Raptor X, by the way. Sorry if I was late to say hey to you. Yeah, I mean, I can't really speak about Filter Everything. I've never liked Filter Everything, if I'm honest. Whenever I've tried it, I've always found it to be clunky and not very intuitive to what I want to do. That's my thoughts on it. Hey, Dave. Grid Builder, on the other hand, is... Once you've been shown how to use it, you get it. If you go in blind, you might kind of hit the wrong thing, because you actually only need to use the add facet set feature. You can almost ignore everything else. But because of the way it's ordered, it's very easy to go, oh, now I've got to add a card. Now I've got to do this. Now I've got to do this. So it's easy to do more than you need, which is no benefit to you. So if you haven't watched a Grid Builder video, go and watch it. It's pretty short, to the point. How do you do it with posts? How do you do it with products? Anything you got to take into consideration, and then go and get it. There is a link. The link is not an affiliate referral link. I'm telling you now, there is no affiliate link. They have not even asked me to do this video. There's no sponsorship. There is nothing in it for me. It's just I started looking into Grid Builder about 3 months ago. 3 months ago, it was January. And I was like, wow, this is actually really good. I'd heard about it, never really looked at it. I was really impressed. And this is where, if Elementor are going to bring out their loop post filter and products as well, the filter system, they've really got to make sure it is as good as Grid Builder, in my opinion. I'm not saying do that so that Grid Builder don't make an income, because I want them to. I want them to do well. But if they can cover off the basics with checkbox select filter system like that, the way Grid Builder approached it, then Elementor are onto a winner. If all we get is just a category filter for just taxonomy, then Elementor are going to regret it, okay? Because I will be very vocal about them missing the trick. All you've done is given us a restyled version of what we already kind of got, because you get the WordPress category filter, which is ultra shit, right? You know, ultra crap. So if we just get a restyled version of that works with LoopGrid, I'm going to be really mega disappointed, because we're waiting on it, right? We are waiting on this, you know? If it was that simple, we should have had it by now, but we're waiting on it. So I really hope that it is like equivalent of what the Grid Builder video that I've done today. Because if you can get to that level, then Elementor is very much accomplished as an all-in-one tool, where you don't have to go and get 5 or 6 extra plugins to do stuff. And that's where Elementor should have been 3 years ago. They should have been looking at all the add-ons. Right, what does Shoplentor do? What does Woolimentor do? What is exclusive add-ons doing? What are all of these extra little bits and pieces doing? And they should have been going, right, we can do that. We know the code and the interface better than anyone. We can do that in a much more slicker way. And that's what they should have been doing. I'm glad to see we are getting movement and developments now, but please do not mess up the post filtering, product filtering loop, whatever you're going to bring out. Please get that right. Jamie, hope someday Elementor will have something like Tell. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's ever on the plans. Harish, I'm planning to switch from Windows to Mac. Yeah, I'm using a MacBook Air M1 from 2020. This is a 2020, so it's nearly 3 years old now. 2020 MacBook Air M1 chip. This has got 16 gigabytes of RAM, but that's because I do a lot of video recording, so I need it to be punching through and doing stuff, right? If you are not planning to do video recordings and stuff like that, the 8 megabyte M1 MacBook Air, whatever, is fine. However, I would say, is it better for you to invest and get the M2? Because the M3 is going to come out later this year. So the M1 will already be 2 versions back. And I think anyone getting a machine now, if you can stretch your budget, get the M2. Or wait for the M3. So just have a think about that. Raptor X, great start to my week. I'm terminating a client for non-payment. It's been almost... Do you know what, Raptor? Did you mention this on our live chat before? 3 weeks. You're not getting any communication. Yeah, look, what you do, Raptor, right? Be very careful, though, okay? Be very, very careful. Take a backup of the website, okay? Put it somewhere just in case they come back to you, right? Because if they come back to you and the website is deleted, they could really have a go at you, right? So just like... right? So to keep a backup just in case anything goes a bit funny. Yeah, and that's the thing, Gene, right? And that's the thing about the whole Ajax filtering, even with Bricks. Bricks do have a good filter system, but I think Grid Builder is top notch. And the interface with how you build it is super slick once you know where to go. Add facets. Remember that, okay? It's the add facets bit you want to do. I know, you are absolutely right. I mean, to be honest, Andrew, I'm more keen on maybe looking at Generate Press and Generate Blocks. You know, it seems like there seems to be a lot more love for that than for Quickly or Spectre at the moment. John, I think we can all say this, right? None of us asked for the flipping Elementor color change. None of us asked for it. None of us did. So why they put any time into that, I don't know. How are you doing, by the way, Brian? How are you doing? Dave, Elementor has the tendency to roll out half. Yeah, I mean, look at the CS. You are right. I mean, look, did you see the video I did, Dave, on Friday? Was it Friday? I think it was Friday. With how I put in a bit of CSS code so I could now span, the rows and the columns, and you could now create an empty block as well. I thought that was quite a nice achievement. I mean, to be honest, it did not take a lot of thinking. I was like, well, hold on. Surely if this is CSS grid and it's a grid layout, I can pop in the CSS to just say grid row and grid column. And yes, it worked. You know, to create your gaps and span. But it's one of those things where I'm okay with that. Other people won't be, especially if you're now having to modify it for the mobile. Then you got to put in your app media and then chop and change it. And it gets messy, right? So I'm hoping... Well, it seems like they are, because they've mentioned on a few posts. I think you did a post as well, Dave, or someone did. And they've mentioned it as a reply that, yes, this is being looked into, and it should be ready for when they do the next update or whatever. But it was a little bit funny, I thought. You know, you bring it out, but you miss the fact that the whole point of why we like the CSS grid system is that you can do these much more funkier, stretched out layouts, right? To just have the add, grid. That was a bit like, well, that's not that different from just doing containers and doing a row wrap effect, right? Container, wrap. That's it. What's the functionality beauty of that? So in the video I did, I showed how you could drop in an empty container or a spacer and get a gap, or the spanning. That is where I really feel like CSS Grid, now you start to see it. And the example I did on Friday, I hope people look at that and go, ah, okay, that's really interesting. By the way, Rupali, sorry I haven't answered your question yet, okay? So you're from India, you created a new website. How much article I posted? Well, Rupali, okay, so what is the niche for the blog? Tell me about the blog. Well, you got a website, right? And I think you're talking about blog because you're talking about articles. What is the website about? Absolutely what Gary says there, right? I had a client who's been with us for about a year and a bit, and they were like, they pay £35 a month for the maintenance of their website. They emailed me 2 months ago, and what they said, hey Pixar, they emailed me 2 months ago, and what they said was, because of cost of living, can I give them a discount? And here's what I said. I said, actually, we now charge more. We charge a lot more, but you're grandfathered into a legacy monthly payment. So you can stay on that. If it is too much for you, I will download your website, right? And you can go to 123reg and pay, instead of £35 a month, you can pay £80 a month. £80 a year, sorry, £80 a year. And that will be for your annual hosting. Massive discount. But you'll have to do your own backups, your own maintenance, and your own updates yourself. They were like, okay, hey, let's just stay on what we are. So I've been there, okay? I've had people come to me and say, cost of living, we want to reduce it. And I'm like, well, actually, in fact, I'll tell you what I charge. If anyone comes to me now, the minimum I would charge per month is £110 for your basic backup, updates, basic maintenance, right? Updates, yeah, really, really basic. £110 sounds like a lot, but when I work it out against my hourly rate or what I charge, it's absolutely fine. And what they get out of it. If they think £35 is too much, I kind of go, well, this is what I now charge, so you're grandfathered in, you're protected. But if you want to go elsewhere, you can do. I will not stop you. I will even be so good to download a copy of your website and send it to you via WeTransfer or Google Drive. So whenever you decide to go wherever you do, you can do that. You can do that. You've got the entire WordPress file and database. I'm not going to kick you off. I'm not going to flick you into the air. I'm not that bad. I'll give it to you. But then you're on your own. You have to now go and get your own hosting. You then have to connect your domain to your hosting. You then have to upload it. You now have to look after your backups and your updates and all of that. And it's at that point they kind of go, yeah, actually, yeah. And because sometimes you have to almost justify it a little bit, right, with what they're paying for. Right. Okay, Rupali, so your website niche is agriculture. By the way, Rupali, there's no need to duplicate because if I'm talking, it's because I'm getting through it. But yeah. So your website is agricultural, right? So what you've got to now do is write your articles about that subject matter, and you want to try and do 6 really big, beefy posts, right? Big as possible, with images, with videos if you can, and do that. AdSense is not going to help you out one bit unless you know your blogs are answering the questions that people are asking. And Rupali, I did a video 2 weeks ago called SEO. Go to the YouTube video channel, type in SEO. We did a video 2 weeks ago, and you need to go and watch that because it's all about keywords and subjects and stuff like that. Oh yes, Andrew, I actually forgot about that. Yes, your wife, yeah, at the funeral. And that's exactly it, Pickstart. Do you know what? That's the other thing I also mentioned to someone else. They said to me, yeah, because my gas and electric costs are going up, I need to bring the costs down. And I said, well, guess what? My gas and electric has also gone up. It would make no sense for me to start offering out discounts. And I'm actually probably using a lot more than you are with all of the tech and gear I've got. Snowkey, £110 sounds like a lot if you use tool. Well, Snowkey, well, what you got to think about, Snowkey, okay? So think about this, right? I don't always use stuff like main WP or manage because a lot of the plugins are different, and I like to be very sure on every website. It's very easy to update. I mean, something falls and you don't realize. Number two, my hourly rate is now £160 an hour. So they're getting about 45 minutes of my time per month. That for me is very, very reasonable. And I'll tell you what, there are some people out there charging $2,000 per month. All right. So I would say, in fact, what are you all charging, by the way? Should we get like a range right now? What are you all charging per month as your basic monthly maintenance care plan? £10, £100, £200. What are you charging? And there's no winners or losers here. We're not here to say that's too cheap, that's too much. What are you charging? So Pete is saying, with your maintenance packages, when you say website updates, is it a number? No. So Pete, basically, it's the updates. So I disable a lot of the updates on. Some updates are auto-enabled. You know, you just let them go. Others like Elementor, Elementor Pro, WooCommerce, even Rank Math. I hold fire on some of them unless I know everything's okay. So basically, it's a case of you make sure the backups are happening. You do their updates. You might need to test something out. And it's just general maintenance of the website. What you have to remember is that it is a great recurring income earner. It can be really good for you. And you might turn around and say, yeah, but I did practically no work. Here's the fact of life that you have to accept. We all pay life insurance, or most of us do. We pay car insurance. We pay housing insurance. We pay contents insurance. We pay insurance for so much stuff that you may never, ever rely upon. When was the last time you claimed on your car? In fact, okay, how much do you think you've paid out over 10 years in car insurance? And how many times have you put in a claim over your car insurance? I've driven a car, right? I've been driving now for nearly 25 years. No, nearly 26 years. Nearly 26 years, right? So I'm going to imagine, on average, what I've been paying, roughly over my lifetime. I've probably paid this over my life in car insurance. Over nearly 26 years, right? Nearly 26 years. That's what I've probably paid over a lifetime. How many times have I claimed for that? But when someone pays you to look after their website, there is a bit of involvement required. I mean, come on. When you pay car insurance, do you really think someone out there is like this? Right, Imran, how's your car this month? Oh, I noticed you did 50 miles this month. Oh, you checked your fuel? They don't care. They don't care. So if anyone ever challenges you on your costing, consider giving them an analogy about life. Okay, just reading here some of the comments. Pete charges 99. Yeah, that's about right. Pickstar's 25. Snowkey is about 25. John's about 30 or 60, depending on the number of sites the client. Yeah, number of client sites. Yeah. Just checking. Depends on what the client has on the site. Exactly. Yeah. How much involvement is there going to be? If someone has got 40 plugins, Are you still going to charge £25? You got to think about it, right? How much effort is required? How much of your time goes into it? Pete makes just over £2,000 per month in maintenance per month. There you go. And how much time do you think you spend, Pete? This is a great example, right? So Pete Cosgrove, per month, how much time do you think you're actually spending? Just to put into context of how the recurring income model with maintenance plans can be great for you. What happened to all the nice wood? Alex said, I chopped and changed everything. I've got loads of the lights off, by the way. Loads of the lights are off. Okay. And that's the thing, though, John, isn't it, about cars, though? You pay it, you got to pay for it, you know. And Pete, we just pay it, don't we? We don't even think about it. We just pay it. What's this? Yeah, it's a Raptor. This is the thing, right? Okay, Raptor. The minute you allow a client to drop the rate from 50 to 42, you've set a precedent, and they know they can always push the cost down. In fact, if you ever decide to charge them for anything, you're already offering them a discount. Don't do that. This is your cost. This is your rate. Okay. You don't need to drop it down, no matter what their lifestyle is like. Sorry, I'm just reading the comments about discounts on cars and stuff. Andrew says, how does everyone back up client sites? Okay, so you'll have the server. So if they're on SiteGround, as an example, they'll have the server, right? Then they got Updraft, right? Which goes to Google Drive or wherever. So you got the server, you got the Google Drive, okay? And I always get that to go to their Google Drive. Trust me, I get it to go to theirs, okay? So that if ever we break up or whatever, they've got their backup. Number 3, regularly all-in-one WP migration. You just take a download. You don't have to do it regularly. You just take the odd download, okay? And again, that's another good way to do things. I do those 3, and it works for me. So Pickstar, what do you include in the maintenance? Updates and backups, and also Pickstar 3 minor updates. Sorry, 3 minor revisions. Your 3 minor revisions are changing your text. You must supply the text, and I can just drop it in. Or changing an image, right? You're allowed 3 of those per month. Text, image. If you say you want me to change the layout, if you want to add a new page, or remove a page or whatever, or change the keywords on the SEO, there is a separate cost attached to that. There's a separate cost, okay? Because change an image and a text is pretty easy, right? You might spend some time turning it into WebP, fine, boom, just do it. You might add some alt text, fine, it's really quick and easy, boom. They give you a new headline or a new paragraph, boom, boom, done, really easy. But if they ask you to change the layout, add a page, remove a page, change a product, that you pay per job, right? You never ever say, I will do 3 revisions or unlimited revisions. What you do is say 3 minor, and you define what a minor is, okay? Because I've seen people go, yeah, unlimited revisions, and then they get a revision every day. How'd you get out of that? You did say unlimited revisions. Now you're stuck. So think very hard about that. Yeah, so Andrew, I mean, you know, on the super course, we have got a page that details out roughly what our care plans are. So you can see what that is there. Have a look at that. So Snokey says, is anyone offering basic website packages like a 5-page? To be honest, yeah, I used to Snokey. Now I base it. Now I say basic 1-page website. This is the cost. After that, the cost is dependent on the work required and the effort or whatever we're doing. Because it's very easy to say 5-page brochure website, but then the amount of stuff they want on one of the pages is like equivalent of 10 pages. And it might then have WooCommerce in there as well. It's still 5 pages, but it's got loads of stuff. So you got to weigh it up. Brian uses WP Vivid. Yep, really, really good. Pete's basic plan is £99. That covers a backup, plugin update, security. I then have another package at £130, which covers the above. Yep, that sounds really good as well. Wow, Jamie, you charge €6 per month. Well, okay, that's kind of not bad. The only thing is, though, are you undercutting yourself quite a lot there? Undercharging. Then again, though, if you said to me, I've got 1,000 people, that's €6,000. So I think you got to weigh it up. You got to really weigh it up. When I first started off, right, I used to charge £6 a month as well, because I was trying to undercut everyone. Now the minimum is 110. If you've got a WooCommerce website, the cost does go up, depending on how many other plugins we got. When you have a lot of plugins, be ready for incompatibility, vulnerability, and risk. So you got to think about the amount of time and effort that's going to go in and out of you sorting things out, okay? How much do you value your time, right? And if I've got a client and they know they're getting 1 hour's worth of work out of me per month, and they only pay £6 a month, I've just said my value is £6 per hour. Does that make sense? So you got to think about that as well. But if it works for you, go for it. Ignore me, go for what works for you. Hey Randy, how you doing? Do you do any client train? No, we do. So as part of the website build, Randy, inside of our proposal document, we then say included is 1 hour handover as a video call. We do a video call, we have 1 hour included where we now train them and show them what they need to do if we are not looking after the website for them. If we're looking after it, then we still do a handover, but we don't go through lots of detail. If they want more time, then you pay for it. You basically pay for more time. All right. And it's no different to if an office or somewhere hires someone to come in and do a coaching talk, a pep talk, a customer service talk, how to use this system, how to make your phones connect to your computer and some other stuff like that. You pay for it. Most of the time, office people don't know the cost because the managers or the department are paying for it. But there is a hefty cost. And if you want a trainer who's only going to be there for the morning to also be there for the afternoon or an extra hour, there's a cost for it. No one does anything for free. Nothing is done for free, right? If you've ever worked in an office and you hire someone or you hire a hall, you know when you've hired a function event, a wedding hall, and they go, right, 5 hours, here's the cost. And then you go, oh, I want it for 1 more hour. And they go, yeah, now you got to pay the full day. Oh, but I only want it for 1 hour. I know, but here's the cost. You have 5 hour or the full day. Your 6 hours takes you over the 5 hour threshold. So now you got to pay for the full day. Does that make sense? And sometimes that's what you have to say to people. Okay, don't start talking to them about, oh, it's my time, my connection, my bandwidth. No, give them real examples. Okay, look at where they work and make it relatable to them. You know, when you start saying to them, you know, wedding hall, blah, 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 you know, you do that and then they'll kind of go, okay, yeah, fair point. Now they might turn around and go, well, actually, I didn't have that problem. They let me stay for an hour. Just say to him, yeah, but that probably was that particular hall. Would it work in every hall? An event? No, it wouldn't. It just doesn't, right? It just doesn't, you know. If you pay for 1 hour, if you pay to spend time doing something for 1 hour, that's your 1 hour slot. There might be 5 minutes here or there leeway, but you're not going to be able to stay for 2 hours and double your time, right? I do one-to-one consultation. I've had people where they pay for half an hour And then we get to 35 minutes and I'm now trying to close down the call. And they're like, oh no, but I've got a few more questions. I know. But now you're heading into the 1 hour and your questions could now take me another 10 minutes or not. Best thing you can do is email me or we can book in another chat, you know, because your time, let me tell you now, if you give more than you are meant to give as part of your terms or what you laid out, you set a precedent. If you say to someone, I'm going to give you an hour of my time, but you give them 90 minutes instead, an extra half hour, every time they book an hour, they're going to probably psychologically and subconsciously expect you to give them an extra half hour. And you've set a line in the sand now where you keep giving them that extra half hour. Okay, let me just quickly check what comments are coming in. Yusuf, and I'll get on to you. Yeah, go for it, Jamie. Make sure you charge accordingly. Yeah, look at that, Pete. Look at what Pete has written, everybody. Right? Look at what Pete has written. He makes £2,000 per month. And it spends 1 day a month. Roughly 1 day, give or take, here or there, per month. And he makes £2,000. So this is the reality check. If you've ever not, if you felt like, well, I don't want him to pay a lot. You're either undervaluing your time or you're giving a lot away for free. Yusuf, you're from Pakistan. You offer services like WordPress websites and SEO. Well, you don't offer services like WordPress websites. You build websites on WordPress. You have a team and we work with some agencies, and I want to go beyond that. What advice would you give me to market my agency? Okay, so here's the advice you need, Yusuf, right? You're not going to like this answer, Yusuf, right? And you probably, you're not going to even probably do it. But here's the answer, right? This is what you need to do. You need to go and get our How to Start a Web Design Business, and you now need to evaluate your services, how you're getting clients, what are you offering, what are you doing, are you ready to scale up, have you thought about your recurring or your non-recurring income models, are you efficient, are you marketing, where are you getting your clients at the moment? Fiverr, Upwork, word of mouth? Are you incentivizing them? So rather than me go over all the stuff I go over all the time, you need to do that. Now, what you have said is you work with some agencies from USA and UK. So basically, you are being subcontracted work. Now, if this is regular, the question you've got to ask yourself then is, how much are they paying you? In fact, Yusuf, for a basic 5-page website, and by the way, I respect the fact that even if you're not getting paid a lot, it might be worth a lot in Pakistan, okay? So Yusuf, based in Pakistan, where you're getting work from the UK and USA, where other agencies are subcontracting work to you for a basic 5-page website, what are you making? Because I need to go to the loo for a quick wee. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Hey, I'm back. Hello, everyone. Sorry, just quick. I say quick wee break, but it was like, I mean, I talk about this a lot, yeah, no one wants to hear this, but when I go for a wee, I'm there for 30 seconds, right? It's because I drink. I mean, this is sparkling mineral water, okay, with Pepsi Max Soda Stream, but I go through about 5 of these a day, okay? This is my second one now. I'm taking a bit longer on it, but boy do I wee. When I wee, if there was an Olympics medal for weeing, I'd challenge you to wee more than me, or slower than me, or even trickle than me. I'm like a waterfall that is like stuttering a little bit. It's like there's loads of fish stopping the water, and then it flows, and then it's flow. Anyway, hey Artif, by the way, great to have you here, my friend. As always. Remember, please, everyone, I am not live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because we've got Atarim Web Summit, and I hope you sign up and go and watch and join in on that, okay? Please make sure you do. Hopefully next week, I'm going to start allowing you... This is a big announcement for everyone. Big announcement. Are you ready for this? Big announcement. From next week, I am going to allow people on the live chat to join the live chat. I will be connecting Zoom to YouTube live stream, right? So when we start a live chat, I will put a link in. And if you want to join, you can. By the way, I decide who is on screen because I might have someone dodgy come on. But you could be on the live chat, right? You got to make sure you got headphones though, or earphones, so we don't get an echo. You don't have to have a microphone, but it's good if you've got, make sure you're clear when you're speaking. And it's really good if you've got a camera on as well. So anyone who's up for joining in, you will have an opportunity to now join in. So it's not just me talking. It can be many of us talking about stuff and viewpoints. So I hope you're looking forward to that next Monday. Boom, boom. Right, back to what we were talking about. So Yusuf, I started as a freelancer, built a team, I got some clients. The income is pretty stable. But what is the income, Yusuf? You didn't tell us the income. You didn't tell me what they're paying you. Hey, George. By the way, George, you're not late, okay? Right? So back to you, Yusuf. What are they paying you for a 5-page website? What are they paying your team for a 5-page website? What are you getting? What are you getting? I have got a drink problem. So Yusuf is charging $550 for a 5-page website. That's really good. Okay. So Yusuf, that $550, is that split? So you've got a team, right? How is that split across your team? How is that split across your team? Well, the thing is, do you know what, Artie? StreamYard, right? For the cost of it, to get the 1080, it's about £32 per month, right? £32. With Zoom, it's only £15. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you doing? Gotta put my... Hey, you gotta do that, Jeff. So, I was going to use EV Mux, but there's been up and down issues with that. I was going to go with EV Cam, but I'm trying to keep it really, really simple. And here's the other reason why I'm doing it with Zoom. Because I can use it for client meetings and stuff as well. And I already have the premium option with Zoom, right? So I'm just going to reuse what I'm already paying for. I've just got to get the live stream bit working via that. But it means that we could have, exactly, Artif, if you want the 1080p stream, right? It's 32 something pounds, or hang on, I might have got this wrong. Restream is 40, StreamYard is 32. Right? I mean, I don't know why they don't just make it standard. 1080p should be the standard. Why is it? If you want to pay extra for 4K, which you're never really going to get on a live stream, I get it. But how excited are you all for that? Hey, that's what we're going to be going for. Yeah, so Yusuf, right, okay, if you think about it, okay, $550 for a 5-page website, okay, that's really good for Pakistan. But how does that average out? So what do you make on that, Yusuf? So what do you make on that 550, Yusuf? On average. Don't say 550. So average it out roughly against whenever you're hiring people. You're making 550, right? How much are they charging for the website? Do you know how much they're charging? Are they charging $5,000? $10,000? $180,000. What are they charging? What are they charging? Okay, think about that. Can you push up the rate? How many websites have you built for them? Is it consistent? Is it the same agency? Have you built up a relationship with the agency where they know, come rain or shine or whatever, you are going to be there to help them out. You are going to be there to deliver with no issues, no problems. You deliver, you and your team. Can you do that? If you can do that, then you can maybe now go, hey, look, we charge $550 for this kind. We need to now go up to about $650 or $700. Can you do that? Or are you just working with different agencies? Right, okay, Yusuf, right. Now then. Well, you're doing okay, Yusuf, then. 4K per month after paying all your team. You're doing really well. And is it the same agency? So if it's the same agency, can you increase? Hey, Groot, can you increase your rates? Can you go up a bit? Can you go higher? I'm getting reflection on. I'm trying to work out where the reflection's coming from. Hold on a moment. Where's that reflect? There's a reflection on here. No, there. Where's that one coming from? It's not that. Hold on. No, I'm getting I'm just checking my reflection. Where am I getting a light? Oh, it's there. No, it's not there. I'm getting some bit of a light. Well, it might be that. Is it that? Yeah, it's that. Sorry. Hold on a moment. I've just realised I've just got to change my light. My curtain. Hold on a moment. Wait a minute. No, I'm still getting it. I've got to work out. There's this light here. I can't work out where it's coming from. Oh, hold on. Yeah, do you know what that was? What do you think that is? Can you see that reflection there? What do you think that reflection is? What do you think it is? It's my email. It's my email open on my screen over here. When I minimize it, you see that? It disappears. How pathetic was that? Hey? Andrew, what does everyone offer as the SEO? Keywords, looking into competitors, stuff like that. Bit of SEMrush. Yeah, Andrew. If they want proper hardcore SEO, you got to up the prices a lot. So Yusuf, if you've been working, look, Yusuf, do you really need me to tell you the answer to your question? You've been working with 2 agencies for 3 years. You built up a relationship. They can trust you. Why don't you go and up your price? What are they charging? Answer that. You make $550 for a basic website. What are they charging for the website? Yeah, by the way, Jeffrey, look, the ship. Look at the ship. And it's got noise as well, Jeffrey. I'll put it on for you just so that I want Jeffrey to experience the noise. Did you hear that? That's the TIE fighters. That was the TIE fighters flying in. Whoa! Wrong button. Sorry, let me just turn it down. There we go. Just turn that off there. Okay, right. Cool. So I've lost where I am now. Just quickly checking stuff. Now, what Pixar says is absolutely right. I offer basic SEO services very much like you look at the keywords, you look at competitors, you look how they're doing, you look at their ranking, you look at see if certain blogs are performing better, you look and see if there's How long are people staying? Which pages or posts are getting hits? If you now want to go proper, real hardcore in depth, you could easily be charging like, I mean, Brian's going to probably tell me more about this, but you could easily charge what? $2,000 per month? Literally, per website, if you were going to go all in on SEO. Because it's not something that you can just do in half an hour here or there. You know, when you're really now... if you're really trying to get to the bottom of what do they need to do to stand a chance against their competitors, what about their product? What about the wording of the product? What about the imagery? There's so much you'd have to go in and investigate. Yeah, a lot of work would be involved in it. I know, Michael, I know. I mean, I have to say, though, when I'm not on a live chat, I do have the volume on, like, so it's like white noise in the background. So as I'm working, I just get the odd roar of, like, you know. What I would love to see on here, which we don't obviously get, is actual, like, a skirmish, like a dogfight skirmish going on with X-Wing and TIE fighters. I'd love it if it was like, you know, like a battle going on. That would be amazing, right? You know? Especially if it had AI built in, so everything was like, no, like, you know, like the rendering of dungeons whenever you play a game. What's the word called? There's a word for it. There's a word, I can't remember. I should know this. It's where it renders differently. It'd be really cool if it did that. Thank you, Pixstar. What are the Uranus sounds like? Sorry, I just saw that. Yeah. But yeah, on average, Andrew, that's what... I mean, look, there you go. Brian, SEO contract starts at 2.5 when you include content SEO. There you go. Now, in the UK, they are going to be very about paying that. But if they are a big business and they're trying to capitalize something, for them, $2,500 or something like that, they wouldn't bat an eyelid, because they're probably going to hire someone for $4,000, $3,000, whatever per month, who's going to sit there just brainstorming ideas for them, you know? I mean, come on. No disrespect to anyone here. No disrespect. But what the do project managers actually do? I used to get into lots of heated arguments with project managers when I was with the NHS. I would literally say to them, you're being paid, right, a lot. You're being paid as much as my senior manager. So I was head of department. I managed loads of people. I said, you're being paid as much as my senior managers who pull in 50, 60 hours per week. They work their socks off, right? And all you do, you got an Excel spreadsheet, task 1, task 2, task 3. You got a Gantt chart. What's happening? What's on time? What's been delayed? Is there any risk? Ooh, is it like red, amber, green? Ooh, do we need to have a contingency plan? What about the dependables? And you sit there thinking, what the heck? We don't even need you. We are managing this ourselves. But no, every department has to have a project manager, and they'll have a risk manager, then you'll have the assistants to the risk manager and the product manager, then you'll have an admin, someone who helps to organise meetings for them, because they got to organise meetings with every team to go over their plans. You're probably looking at, wait for this. You're probably looking at about £160,000 per year just for that bull. And if you're a good project manager, I love you, but I'm telling you now, okay, it's like I would go in and go, I've updated the plan. I know where we are. I've managed everything. I've risk assessed it. I know what we're doing. Oh, okay, yeah. Can we change the wording here? No, because it's my plan. I speak to the client and the customer, or the NHS, the hospitals and the doctors and nurses. I do it, not you. You want me to change the wording, but why do we need to change the wording? We know what we're saying when we work with our clients. Artie, we should all start an SEO agency. For real, brother, for real. That's what we should do, right? Just checking some of the comments coming in. SEO experts have the best of both worlds. Charge a bomb and don't... Well, that's it, isn't it? I've had people come to me and go, can you help us with our page speed optimization or with our SEO? And I make clear from the get-go, I cannot promise you 100% or 90% for your page speed. I can't even promise you anything significant than what you've got now. I cannot guarantee you're going to get onto page 1. And this is what you also say to them, right? You are up against 20 other websites. We'll do improvements for you, but if the other 20 also do improvements, you know, you do articles and keywords. They do articles and keywords. They've already got a customer base. You're trying to build. They've already mastering social media marketing. You're just about getting, you know, drawn into it. You're always playing catch up, right? But what you must do is never, ever, ever make a promise. Never say to someone, I'm going to get your website to 100%. Never do that. I'm going to get your website to page 1 in Google. Well, you can with a Google ad. And you can say, in the last 60 days, you were on page 1 yesterday. In the last 60 days, you're on page 1 yesterday. But you're not now because someone else's advert is there. But I got you onto page 1. You don't promise jack, okay? Because the variables in the world out there, nothing is constant. Everything is developing and moving. What you can do, though, is show them that you've put in the steps to help them. It's the long game. SEO properly could take 5 to 6 months. Easily, properly. And you've got to be on top of it every day, all the time, right? You've got to be on top of it. Page speed optimization. Maybe I do get your website to 99%. Next week, there's an update and your website drops to 80. Is that my fault now? Or maybe it's your server speed or your host provider. So things can go up and down. But never, ever, ever promise. Do you know how many times I see people on, like, you see them. They're on LinkedIn all the time. They put a Fiverr post in. I will get your website to 100%. I promise you. You know, some of them even put the word, I kid you not, right? Some of them in their LinkedIn have literally put WordPress optimization Nitro Pack expert. What the heck is a Nitro Pack expert? Oh yeah, I know. You dragged the toggle from 0 to ludicrous. That's all you did. But you are a Nitro Pack expert. I've seen it. And I laugh. And when I laugh so hard, I feel like I'm regurgitating everything I ate the week before. That's how hard I laugh when I see that. But that's the common thing, isn't it? That's the common thing. I will get you onto page 1. No. I'll review your SEO, your rank math or whatever. I'll look at your sitemap. I'll make sure your instant indexing is going on. We'll make sure your search console and your crawling and all of that and your analytics. We'll make sure your keywords are right. Make sure you got them in your H1, your H2. What about your alt tag? You know, your alt image. What about all of that? You know, make sure things are clear. And make sure it looks good on the mobile. You know, all of that. We'll do that to help you. But it's like a race. It's like Formula 1, right? You could build a car that's the best car in the world. And you get the best driver in the world. And you got the best technician and team in the world. But if things don't go your way, you ain't gonna win the race. You could take the best football team with the best manager and the best players in the world, right? Doesn't mean you're gonna win everything and consistently everything, right? That's the reality of life. It's what we call the variables of life. Okay, nothing is constant. Thank you, by the way, Mia. I've just read that from Lena. By the way, Lena, I hope you're okay. I hope you're all having fun with the dogs and cats and chameleons and lizards and mosquitoes and bugs and lice and fleas and everything else. No, I'm sure you're not, but I hope you're all okay. Just reading some of the comments coming in. Yep, SEMrush is fantastic, you know, and you can use that to just back up or to sometimes help you investigate. We did a video on SEMrush quite a while ago now, but the video, all of the content in there is still relevant. I am going to review that because I did an SEO video 2 weeks ago and I want to do more on the SEO side of things. So I will be revisiting the content from that video very, very soon. So Pickstar says, do you know if SEMrush is for multilingual website? That's a good question, Pickstar. I don't know. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure about that. So after today's live chat, I want to just double check. How can I get Zoom to live stream to YouTube? It should be working, and I don't know if there's a delay with my account or whatever, so I've got to double check what's going on there. And then I've got to just crack on with a few other things. I've got to get ready to start recording the big mother of a video tomorrow and Wednesday. And then it's going to take I'm telling you now, it's going to take ages to edit that. I've also got 7 new code snippet videos to do as well. I'm enjoying those for 2 reasons. 1, I learn from it. 2, you gain from it. 3, it's great for the code snippets plugin. I am so supportive of those bunch of misfits. They are great team. But I love it. I love it when I find there's always snippets and you look at it and go, nah, is that really useful? Is that really useful? And then I find some and I go, wow, I can see that being good for me, you, and everyone else. So I hope when you see the code snippet plugins that are videos that I'm putting out, you're actually looking at it and going, yeah, that's actually really, really good. Indie's 7 million, Indie. WP Meteor, but it doesn't load background image. I never have that issue, Indie. I'm telling you now, I never have that issue. Is the background image inside of a slider or a carousel? So, is it a background image in a slider or a carousel? Because I can tell you now, I've got background images in places and I never have an issue. So is it a section or a container with a background image, or is it a slider or a carousel? So it's fetching it from somewhere else. If so, you might need to reduce the WP Meteor setting. Is it? When you say yes, Indy, which one is the yes to? Which is the... Yeah, right. There you go. You see that? I know my stuff. Because it's in a slider or a carousel, right, and the WP Meteor is reducing the JavaScript execution and all of that, okay, because the image is inside of there, right, it's now literally stopping it until you drag your mouse and then it comes in. So there's a delay. So if you have got that, go to WP Meteor and drop the setting from, I think you go from LCP optimization only, then you got level 1, then you got level 2, and then I got thinking, and then it's either level 2 or whatever. So drop it and check. By the way, when you drop it, go to regenerate your CSS, purge your site, purge your server, then look at it on an incognito website. Okay? Does that help you, Indy? You see, I know what I'm talking about here. Mainly because I did a lot of testing. I came across FastPress a while ago. Came across WP Meteor even earlier. But I used to use WP Meteor with Auto-Optimize. But I was finding I used to love auto-optimize. I used to love it. But time and time again, I felt like I was having to jig it a lot. And sometimes it didn't always deliver. And you'd be like, what? And also what was really annoying was auto-optimize also pulled down your score. So because you had auto-optimize in your website, it actually dropped your score a bit. And it was like, hold on, this is meant to be the optimization plugin. This should not be dragging down my score. And it did. And here's the worst thing. If you deactivate and delete auto-optimize and you get rid of it from your file manager, I can tell you now, there will be elements of auto-optimize still existing in your WordPress database. Even though you've deleted it, deactivate, delete, you've deleted it out of your WordPress, your file manager and all of that. You've literally gone there and got rid of it there as well. Bits of it will still be in your WordPress. And you kind of go, where's this? How did this happen? So I started to fall out of love with auto-optimize, and then I started testing, and I'm telling you, I must have spent, give or take, 3 weeks really trying to go, what can I do that's going to work for you, that's easy? There were loads of solutions out there that required you to do a bit of coding. Like, you got to do this and you got to do that. I was like, nah, I don't want that. It's got to be so easy that someone who's never used WordPress, doesn't like coding, if they can install code snippets and these 2 plugins, and they just follow what I'm saying, they can do it. And that's the solutions I love, which is why I do what I do. Because I'm always conscious that not everyone is a hardcore coder or has that kind of syntax mentality to work it out and do all that. So yeah. That's the one, Indy. Infinity was the ultimate. When you drop it to 2 seconds, my page speed would be not... Well, the thing is though, Indy, right? Okay. What would be your score if you didn't have WP Meteor? So if you drop it to 2 seconds and it now works, what is the drop on your score? What is the drop? Have you done everything else? WebP, images, explicit width and height. Have you used the other code snippets? Have you got fast press in there? Have you custom loaded fonts? Have you stopped lazy loading? Have you, if you've done all of these things, what would be your score with WP? In fact, tell us, what is the score with WP Meteor? And then when you go to 2 second delay, what is it? What is it? What's the difference? Is it a really major difference? So what are you with WP Meteor Infinity? And what are you with the 2 second bit there? What are you? And some people have said to me, but isn't WP Meteor like NitroPack with a delay? No. You do a page speed insight with NitroPack, you get a blank page. You do it with WP Meteor and FastPress and the code snippets, you can still see your content. So 60, really? 60, Indy? Indy, I'm only going to be live for 5 more minutes, right? I'm only going to be live for 5 more minutes. Can you email me your URL? I am not going to put your website on screen. I just want to test it. Because if you're getting 6, can you leave it, right? Leave it on the 60, right? If you can, leave it on the 60, not the 95. Leave it on the 60. And can you email me your URL quickly? If you do that now, I want to pop it through Page Speed Insights. Do that quickly and we'll do that now. Because I think there's something else going on there. For you to go from 95 to 60, that's too harsh. So either you've got loads of... sliders or videos or something going on. I need to have a look. Because if it's because you've got loads of videos or sliders, have you got a slider as your hero banner? If it's in your hero banner then that's why you're getting that score. And that is where you have to now go, that's it. That's it. Right? That's it. I can't do anything. That's the problem you're going to have. Okay? If you put a video or a slider carousel in your hero banner, or you have too many of them, it doesn't really matter what you do, your score is going to come down. Okay? If you're using Elementor, you're going to get hit. That's it. So you have to kind of go, do I really need a slider in the hero banner? I do. Fine. Walk away. Walk on. Don't sit there trying to get your score high. Accept it. There you go, Indy. Look, we are problems. In fact, Indy, you don't even have to email me. Right? Because I've problem solved it, okay? The issue is you've got a slider in your hero banner, right? Unless you get rid of the slider, right? Do you even need a slider? In fact, email me. No, email me. Let's look at the slider. Come on, Indy. I'm waiting for you. Indiana. Come on, Indiana. Come on, Dr. Jones. Get me that over. We want to see the slider. Do you need a slider? Can an image be enough? Can the slider be moved down? You know? Videos don't have to be right at the top. You could do it as section 2 or 3. Sliders could be section 2 or 3 as well. Right? So when you get to the mobile, the slider is below the fold. The slider is here below the fold. Then your mobile score will jump up. Right? So this is what you got to think about. No, Brian, don't you dare email me, everyone. No. This is just for Indy. Right, this is just for Indy at the moment. Indiana. Come on, mate. Get it over. Come on. Yep, do you know what? That was one of my favourite scenes. That was one of my favourite scenes. And I think Sean Connery was absolutely perfect in that role as Henry Senior. Absolutely perfect, right? Well, yeah, but Groot, right? If you said to your client, the slider in the video at the top is going to hit your page speed score, which could affect your Google rankings, will they still want it? It's very easy for us to say, yeah, but the client wants it. Yeah. But if you say to the client, I'll put the slider in, I'll put the video in, I'll do what you want, master, I'll do everything, but it will affect your page speed and it will affect potentially your Google rankings, and there could be a delay, there could be a lag with the video playing, with the slider, there might be a stutter effect here and there. Mobile phones don't always like them. Are you okay with that? And if they're okay with that, fine, you go for it. Okay, Indy, I'll just check. If they're okay with that, fine. But don't just accept where they say to you, oh, but the client wants it. Okay? So let's now have are you okay with me sharing the website? Can I put the website on screen? So this is for Indy. Come on, Indiana. Can I put the page on? Can I show this page or not? If you say no, I won't show it. All right, if you say no, I won't show it. Yeah, Pigstar's right. You can improve it with optimization. Make sure you ain't got videos and all of that. Yeah, okay, right. So I'm not going to share the URL then, okay? I'm not going to share the URL. Okay, so here's your score. Okay, so here's your score. Okay, so you're getting 93 on the desktop, 66 on the mobile, okay? One of you got a little bit of an issue with your service speed. This is where WP Meteor would kick in. Oh, right. Okay, let me tell you right now, right? Let me tell you right now. You've got issues. You have not followed the script, Indy. You're not following the script, right? Your fonts are not your fonts, right? Go and look at the code snippets. Your images, you've got a PNG in there. What have you got there? I don't know what you got there, but you've got an image in there you need to sort out. You need to go to all of your sections or containers and make sure the overflow is hidden. Make the overflow hidden, right? So you've got issues there. You do that, it's going to help you out. Now I'm going to look at your website, okay? You've got... Where is your slider, by the way? Oh, yeah, there it is. You got a slide. Is that a slider? You haven't got a slider in the hero banner. I don't know what you're looking at, but you haven't got a slider in the hero banner. So Indie, I don't see a slider in the hero banner there. There is no slider, right? But you need to go and look at your images, look at your font, overflow for all of your sections must be set to hidden. You do all of that and you will have a better day. But Indie, there is no slider in your hero banner. Well, I'm not seeing it. Right, I am not seeing it. It's not there. It's not a slideshow. I'm telling you now, there's no slideshow. Let me refresh your page, right? Let me refresh your page. There's no slideshow there. Yeah, there's no slideshow there. The hero... No, there's no slideshow. There's no slideshow at all. There's no slideshow at all. Oh, I can't say it how many times, but there's definitely no slideshow there. Yep, take care, Jeffrey. Thanks for being here. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you're doing good, mate. See, I'm now just inspecting, right? I'm not seeing any slideshow on there at all. I'm just going to quickly flick this over into mobile view. Yeah, there's no slideshow. Yeah, you might need to purge your site, regenerate your CSS or do something like that. Okay, look everyone, I've been live now for 1 hour and 31 minutes. I'm going to give you a 2-minute warning and then we are going to go. Absolutely, Groot, you got to have a good server, but you can optimize, you can make your sliders work for you really well. But I always say to my client, look, you want a slider, you want a video, fine, I'll do it. But bear in mind, if there is a hit on your optimization, if there is a hit on your rankings or anything like that, I told you about it, okay? I made it clear to you. Because just because a client wants something, it is our job to advise them. That's what we're here for. Yeah, so Indie. Yep. Hey, Paul, don't worry. So Indie, custom load your font. Make sure your WebP'd your images. Go to your sections. In the very first tab, it says overflow. Set them all to be hidden. Set them to be hidden, okay? Do all of that and you're going to massively help yourself out. And you might see your score go up. But you've got more going on there than just reduce unused JS, which is what the WP Meteor was helping you do. You got more than just that. Wow, Paul, you go and ram those toasted ham and cheese sandwiches down your throat. Okay, everyone, I'm going to say goodbye now. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to grab something to eat. Hit hard on some work. Remember, this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I am not live. Atrium Web Summit, okay? I'm not live. Next week, I will hopefully be opening up the live chat as a Zoom chat. Who's up for that? Tell me if you're up for that. Who's up for that? You don't have to join. You can join. But it means that maybe I'll have Pickstar on there. I might have Brian on there. I might have John. I might have Andrew. I might have Maddie. If you're... by the way, ideally you got to have your camera. If you want to come on without your camera, you could do. As long as you got sound. But I hope you're all here. I hope you look forward to that. All right, take care. Go and do something with your lives now. You bunch of people. Love you all. Take care. See you during the Atrium Web Summit. See you soon. Take care. Bye.